guess we can try it. So you got the mouse. Just move through it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna click with it.
Cool. Should have prepared more time.
Okay.
Cool. This is so funny. Hey guys, I'm Christian Babcock.
And I am Marlena Guerrero.
Today we're going to talk to you guys about how to effectively lead a team. We are both business management majors, so managing a team is going to be something that we're going to do a lot throughout our career. Here's a brief infographic. It only has 10 ways to show your leadership and lead a team, but we're going to show you actually 20. So let's get into it. Starting off, you need to get to know your team. If you can't work and lead the people that you don't know, making this is a lot of things like making time to listen to the needs of your team and get to know your team on a personal and professional level. That way they will respect and trust you. Communication is super important. You don't know the people that you don't talk to. It's really important for building relationships and getting to know your teams. So a few things that we like to communicate is our expectations, responsibilities, and all available information that our team needs to know in order to do their job well. Another thing is delegation. In order to function as a team, you need to be able to delegate meaningful work. You're not going to be able to do it all on your own. So knowing the skills that your team has is important for giving them the right work and the amount of work and the right kinds of work that they can do well, and your team will succeed. And a good leader always delegates. As you can see, this guy, he's handing out work to all his different team members. I'm sure they all have different talents, and he knows how to delegate that workload. And the next thing is reward. Reward the good and learn from the bad. There's definitely going to be bad experiences, and you need to look at them as a learning experience if you're going to be leading a team, especially if you want to lead another team after you do the first one. So you need to reward the good. I thought a great illustration would be this dog. When he pees in the grass, that's good. When he doesn't pee in the grass, that's bad. And so maybe it's not as harsh as yelling at your dog when he pees on the floor, but you can do this through a few different ways. You can implement pay raises or promotions when people do really well, and you need to attach that to when they do well. So you do need to reward them, even if it's in small ways. You can tell them you did really well on this. I really appreciate that. There's verbal affirmation, but there's also things like pay raises, promotions that also motivate people a lot. And another thing is in regards to poor performance, you always want to stay on top of that as well. You don't want to allow someone to perform for months and years in a poor way and never give them that feedback. Feedback's going to keep people motivated. It's going to keep people in the loop on your team. Moving on, be decisive. Working with a team, there's going to be a lot of decisions to be made, and you need to be the one, if you're leading, to do them and do them quickly and timely. And you need to bring your team into the decision-making process. They're going to want to be a part of what you're doing. They're going to want to know and feel like they're a part of the team when making decisions. Okay, so then, go ahead.
So the next one would be lead by example. So what does this mean is that you show them how a true leader should be. And if they see that you're passionate about your work, that you enjoy what you're doing, and that you're putting in time, then your teammates will also be able to put in that work because they're seeing that their leader is also putting in the work. And it's important to be on top of things and do everything with motivation so that others can see that, you know, if my team leader is excelling in all areas, then I will also be motivated to excel as well. And it's also important to make time to lead, make time for your team members, make time for your employees to listen to their problems and to listen to what they have to say and their opinions when making decisions. And just in order to work more effectively, you know, you have to pay attention to the little details that they bring up to you, and it's just important to, you know, support them and feel like, you know, they can trust you and they have that respect towards you. And another one is enjoy the process. Being a team leader is also, you know, having fun with it, learning from it, and embracing it. So it's important to enjoy being a leader and show that to your employees, because if they see that you are not enjoying what you are doing, then that is going to affect them. And if they see that you are enjoying your work and you're being a good leader, then that's also going to affect their work, and you are going to be able to do more work because you are enjoying it. And your team can tell when you are enjoying a job or when you are not. So it's important to, have fun with it and enjoy what you are doing. Again, lead with optimism. It's important to be optimistic and to show your team that, you trust in them, and that you have, you're optimistic in that, knowing that, everything is going to work out, that everything is going to go well. It's important to trust your team with their job and know that, everything is going to work out. And if it doesn't, be optimistic about it. How can we change what we did, and how can it be better next time? It's important to, motivate each other and motivate your team in order to, get where you want to be and show the best work that you can do. So another one is plan and prioritize. It's important to have a plan ahead of time, and it's important to let your team member know about that plan and prioritize. Focus on what's more important first, and then wait on the smaller things. It's important to finish what needs to get done first, and then work on other things. And I think it's also important to let your team members know that what the plan is, what you want from them, and how you guys are going to get there.
Moving on from that is the idea of accountability. Nothing's going to get done if you don't keep people accountable. And I think with accountability, you can also allow your team to keep you accountable. When you say you're going to do something, let them have such a policy where they can come to you and tell you when something needs to be fixed, when something's not going right, and have a transparency of honest feedback. Accountability ensures that work gets done on time and efficiently, and in a business, sometimes on budget. Because time equals money. You also have to hold yourself to the same standards of your team. If you're expecting them to be working late, working hard, you need to be available and have them keep you accountable in that as well. So moving on, the next one is assigning people purposeful work. People are going to be more motivated when they feel like they're doing something that matters. When they're making a meaningful impact on their team, they tend to stay motivated throughout the entire project, and they don't experience burnout, which is when they're unmotivated, they don't feel like they're doing something that matters, and they don't want to be a part of the team anymore. This is a great demonstration. This is do what you love what you do. So you need to assign something that they're good, not only that they like to do, but they're good at. So that's going to keep them really motivated and in the loop of the group. And give them the freedom to use their talents. Everybody has different talents. So as a boss and a manager, you need to lead your team in a way where you're not micromanaging, because you hired them and you put them on the team for a reason. It's because they have a talent. They're good at what they do, and you need to give them the freedom to excel in that. Some people need a lot of structure and some people don't. So being a good team lead is knowing what each individual team member needs and allowing them enough freedom to use the talents that they have. Another thing is being transparent. When you're making mistakes or things that you're doing, you need to let the team call you out on that. You need to let them know. There needs to be this free circular flow of information where when you're getting information, the team is as well. Because if you're keeping things from them, you're not letting them know when things are due, you're not letting them know when they need to do things, they're not going to be as motivated to do the work that you've assigned them. So being transparent is extremely important to being a leader. I just think that's a great quality of a leader. Also is being available. You never want to be the boss that's not available. We've all had that boss before, that you go to his office, he's never there. When he is there, he's too busy to talk to you, and he doesn't make you feel like you are a part of the team. Don't be that guy. If you assign a project or a role to a team member, you need to be there to help them and be a harbor of information for whatever their needs are. And you just need to act as a complete resource to your team. Realize that you are a resource to your team, and you're probably going to be one of the first persons that they're going to go to when they have an issue. So consider that an opportunity and not something that's negative. And another one is practice servant leadership. To be a leader, you need to serve. That kind of goes with the last one of being available, is serving your team. You are just an asset to your team. The main goal of your leadership should be to serve. You should act as a resource to your team, and maybe that looks at a lot of different ways. Maybe it's picking up slack when your team is not, when there's a lot of work and your team needs help. Maybe that's picking up slack for them. These are a few qualities of servant leadership: is self-awareness, collaborative, trusting, doesn't abuse authority, results-oriented, resolves conflict. And I think it's great to look at yourself and say, am I one of these people? Do these qualities reflect my leadership style? And I think that will help you be a better team leader.
Another important leadership skill that you should have is to equip the team with tools to succeed. It's important to give them what they need when it comes to, giving them the software, equipment, information in order to get their job done. They're going to be able to get that job done only if they have the right tools. And as a team leader, you should be able to, equip them with all of those tools that they need in order to succeed together. You also need to encourage the team to push their limits. As a team leader, they should see you that you are giving your best work and that you are trying your hardest. And as well, you need to motivate that team to, also try their best and push their limits so that, the team can all succeed together. Encouraging your team members to take risks and push their limits daily will empower all of them and empower the team together as a whole. It's important to earn the team's respect and give them yours. I think it's important that, getting respect from your team members and giving that respect to them will lead to, a successful work, because if people respect you and you respect them, then they will want to get their job done because they respect you and they want to, help you get there. And if they know that you respect them, then they will also, be able to push for the work in order to be good, because they know that you respect them. Develop leaders within is another important factor that team leaders should have, because the team is your future leaders. They're the future leaders of the company. They're the future leaders of your team. So it's important to, motivate them to try their best and pick the team leaders that, are putting in that work and stuff, because they will be the future of the company. They will be the future team leaders, and they are going to be working on top in the future of the company.
Well, typically you would be there to ask us questions, but since you're not, thank you so much for listening, and I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope the teams that you lead in the future would be fruitful and you all would enjoy it. Thanks again, guys.
Yeah, we're excited.
We're excited.
Well, thank you.
Cool. I think that's perfect.